In 2018, there were 114 people injured or killed in a school shooting. There were a total of 24 school shootings that resulted in injuries or deaths. On top of that, nearly 43% of kids have been bullied online. 1 in 4 said it happened more than once, and teen suicide has been shown to be on the rise in the past few years, according to the CDC. Fortunately, there are measures being taken by some great technologies to help prevent these and keep our schools safer. I'm your host, Nicole Martin, and this is Talk Digital to Me, where I explore the latest trends and topics in digital, tech, AI, and online media, and hear from those working in the industry. Today, I will be speaking to someone who is using tech and AI to try and prevent school shootings and cyberbullying. This is episode 5, Using Tech to Protect Our Youth. I won't lie to you, this episode isn't exactly the most cheerful subject, but it's an important one to talk about. I won't get all political because that's not what this podcast is about, but I want to dive into the idea that tech and AI can help save lives in more than just healthcare and safety like in episode 2 and 3. Today I'm talking to someone from Bark US. Bark's watchdog engine uses advanced algorithms to look for a variety of potential issues such as cyberbullying, sexting, drug-related content, and signs of depression. All of these can help save our youth and prevent things like school shootings. If a potential issue is detected, a text or email alert is sent to someone to review the issue, along with recommended actions on how to handle this situation. Let's hear from the expert. Stay tuned. I am here with Titania Jordan. She is the CMO and Chief Parent Officer of Bark US, an internet safety solution that helps parents and schools keep children safer across social media and text messaging and email. Hi, Titania. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being on. I really appreciate it. So I just wanted to talk to you a bit about your background and how you got into such a role.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I actually got my degree in marketing. So I did not go to school for computer science or artificial intelligence. In hindsight, I wish I did, but
Don't we all?
yeah. But ended up in the right place. I actually started my career in traditional media at a top 40 radio station in a top 10 market, Atlanta, Georgia. And because I was in traditional media at a time where social media was exploding, this was, 2004 to 2009, I really got to witness something that was very unique to the media world. So we started to sell, digital advertising in addition to on-air advertising and utilize platforms like Facebook and Twitter to engage with our core audiences. And so it was just such a cool time to be in the space. At the same time, I also decided to start a family. And so I had my son, Jackson, and I never really thought about not going back to work. But after I had him, turns out I was struggling with postpartum depression and anxiety, which affects about 10% of childbearing women in the U.S. And I just couldn't even fathom going back to work. There was no way that I could manage, getting dressed in clothes that did not fit me yet, and pumping and all the things and the emotions with the demands of a career. And I really didn't understand how other women did it. It was baffling to me. So I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I couldn't go back to that world. And funny story, back to breastfeeding, even though that has nothing to do with tech. I reached out to a lactation consultant because it was not easy, but she helped me. And I thanked her. And I said, if there's anything I can ever do for you, please let me know. And she said, actually, there is. I write these books and I help women, but I don't get Facebook. I don't get social media. Can you help me with that? And that was the light bulb that went off and snowballed into the career that I have today, which was helping companies engage with their core audiences online, specifically social media, that quickly grew to a social media marketing agency and then an advertising agency that I was running while raising a child with my husband. And one of my clients asked me to leave my agency that I had built and become their CMO full time. There was a team of all men that were launching a tech product targeting women and mothers, and they didn't have, a woman in a marketing position, which was shocking. So I absolutely jumped on that opportunity to work not only in tech, but in a C-level role and at the Atlanta Tech Village, which is the fourth largest tech hub in the nation. It was just too perfect to not do it. And I did it.
What an opportunity.
Yeah. So anyway, that was my second startup. First startup was Red Rover, which launched in New York, and I helped launch the Atlanta market for that. And then I started an app called Privet, which was like Yik Yak, but for women, adult women that had more mature conversations. And then fast forward to Bark, which is just the most amazing experience I have ever had, both professionally and personally.
That's great. Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about Bark and what what you guys do, and how you guys protect more than 2.6 million kids online.
Yeah. So we launched Bark July of 2015. Fast forward to today, we now protect close to 3 million children across the nation, and that growth really took off over the past 12 months because we have a product that is Bark for Parents, and we saw how our algorithm, which we can talk about in a little bit, was protecting children across 25 social media platforms, text messaging, and email. And we noticed that schools were giving children school-issued devices and accounts, whether it was Gmail or Microsoft or Chromebooks, and there were issues bubbling up on those school-issued devices and accounts. So we did a test pilot in the fall of 2017, caught a school shooting and bomb threat, and thought, wow, we've really got to roll this out. And then Parkland happened, the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. And we realized we have got to get this to as many schools as possible, as quickly as possible, and it needs to be for free. So we rolled out Bark for Schools for free right about this time last year. And that is what gave us the hockey stick growth, because it was a product that was needed. It was the right time for the market, and it spread like wildfire.
Wow. So how many schools is it in?
It's in over 1,100 schools and school districts across the nation.
Wow. That's amazing. So how do you guys get the word out there to schools so that they know about this?
Well, there's this thing called a listserv, which we noticed a spike one day in the state of Arkansas, and turns out an IT administrator listserv mentioned this Bark for Schools for free thing, and it blew up, and it was a bunch of little pockets like that. I mean, our senior leadership team, posted about it on Facebook and LinkedIn, and we released a press release, but did not expect it to pick up like it did. So it was truly through the power of social media and traditional media that it just spread.
Yeah, that's great. So tell me a little bit, so how does it work exactly? What does it tell people? What does it look for? What are the things that it does to prevent these things?
Sure. So we are using artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms to analyze conversations across text messages, emails, and over 25 social media platforms. And when our algorithms detect a problem, and we're talking about problems like cyberbullying, sexting, thoughts of suicide and depression, potential drug use, online predators, and acts of violence, it will then alert the parent for the Bark for Parents product or the school administrator for the Bark for Schools product, and then give them best recommended next steps for how to address. So an example is for the Bark for Parents product, if a parent has connected their child's Instagram account and somebody sends your child a direct message saying, hey, you're kind of cute. Can you send me, a nude photo? Bark would alert you as a parent to that potential danger, let you know who sent that, show you the snippet of the conversation, and then give you best recommended next steps. What Bark doesn't do is give parents full unfettered access to their children's devices and accounts. So if there is a benign conversation in that same child's Instagram DM between a peer and them, Bark has no need to flag anything because it's just benign conversation.
Wow, that's really good. I love the respect for privacy there. I think that's really important for kids to, know that they're not being invaded with their privacy. It's just, this is to protect them. That's really great.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, our ethos as a company is to help educate parents and build responsible digital natives. Our goal is for you to talk with your children about why you're using Bark. It's the same conversation you have when they don't want to wear a bicycle helmet. It's like, look, I'm giving you this device that can access the world 24/7, 365, and vice versa. So we're going to have something on there to help keep you safe.
Yeah, absolutely. So up to this point, so what have you guys been able to detect and, kind of, stop from happening up until this point? Cyberbullying, what other things have you guys really caught with this app? And, do you have any, case studies of where this was really important and this thing really worked out?
We do. Thank you for asking. This is some really compelling data. Something that we are incredibly humbled by is the fact that we have helped to escalate 16 credible school shooting threats to the FBI. And, just for scale, we send about 50,000 to 70,000 alerts each day. Last month, just in a 1 month period, we sent 1.4 million alerts, but 191,000 of those were severe. And so if an alert is severe, it means it includes sexual content, violence, thoughts of suicide, depression, drugs, predators, etc. And we as a company send about a dozen imminent suicidal alerts each day. So just to give you an insight into the scale of the data that we are analyzing and sending alerts around, back to the 16 number for the school shooting threats. And then some other compelling numbers, 36 different times a parent has written in to us to say, thank you so much for this alert. Because of your alert, I was able to get my child the help they needed and their life was saved, surrounding these suicidal and self-harm alerts. We also have detected over 10,000 severe self-harm situations. One interesting thing from our data, especially around 12-year-old girls, there seems to be a spike, in fact, a 7x spike when girls hit the age of 12 in expressing the desire to cut or self-harm. So we're looking into that and trying to figure out why. Why are our teens and tweens being confronted with this sort of thought process?
Yeah, that's incredible. You guys aren't only just stopping these things from happening, but now you're looking at the data going, okay, we're finding a trend here. And how do we determine why this is happening? So you could be preventing this even further than just, using this algorithm.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're partnering with Johns Hopkins to help use our data to inform, just key trends. I mean, the suicide is the second leading cause of death now for children under the age of 18, which is it's horrible, and it's only increasing. We don't know why yet, but you can see that there's also a coordinating correlation with increase in screen time and smartphone usage. So while I don't want to say screens and smartphones are directly related to this spike, it's definitely something that at least should be looked at. Time will tell, data will tell, but it's interesting.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a whole new world. These kids are going through something that we've never even been through, where they're growing up with a smartphone and access to everything. Even when I was growing up and I had a flip phone, I couldn't get on the internet. So it's got to be just such a crazy experience to be able to access everything in the palm of your hands at 12 years old to 15 years old. That's, as you're growing and you're being able to talk to all these people and have all this access to everything and Snapchat and social and see the world, I can't even imagine the kind of pressure and just, overwhelming